Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. This is part 2, and we're going to explore more of the castle corridor. Before we do that, I'm going to show you the special abilities for the souls that we got on the first video, because I forgot to do that. The first one is the Bat Soul, which does supersonic waves. Basically, it's a really short-range attack, but it's pretty strong. The second one is the Winged Skeleton, which we started with, and that basically throws spears at monsters. Really strong, quite a nice range, but it's really expensive for MP. I'm going to go with the Merman for now, which shoots a water pistol. It's weaker, but it's not as expensive, and it still has the range. Anyway, let's continue on. You can go down to the lower left corner you see there, but I'm not going to do that because it's basically a dead end right now. Alright, we come across our first new enemy, which is the skeleton. And the skeleton you can farm a soul off of. I'm going to do that off screen, and we'll be right back with that. Alright, so we've got the skeleton soul. I'll show you what that does here. Basically, it throws a bone like traditional Castlevania axes. Not really useful because it's pretty slow, so I'm going to go back to the Merman for now. On here, and this hallway brings us over to the Axe Knight corridor here, and I will farm these guys off screen. We'll be right back. Alright, we've got the axe armor soul, which allows us to throw a horizontal axe, sort of like they do. I'll show you quickly here. Takes a decent amount of MP, but it's going to be really useful for the next boss at least. We'll head up here quickly. There's another axe armor. These also drop leather plate, but you'll get that in just a few rooms, so I'm not going to bother farming that. The next enemy up is Skull Archer. I'll farm that off screen, and we'll be right back with that. Alright, we've got the Skull Archer soul. Took quite a while. I actually got the leather plate from the axe armor on the way, and gained a few levels and some money. I'll show you what the Skull Archer soul does here. It actually creates a bow, and it stays in place, so you can kind of avoid things, but not really that useful in my opinion. Alright, and then the equip that I got was the leather plate. We were wearing the cloth tunic earlier. So the leather plate added 3 points of defense. It's worth it. Alright, so let's go take on the boss here. The boss is Creaking Skull, and you'll find that Axe Armor's soul is going to be extremely useful in defeating him. There we go. You can get a soul from this fight, but it's not that common, so don't worry about it. You'll fight him later again. Let's head over and grab the Castle Map 1, and you can view the general area that it wants you to go towards, which is obviously to the right. And there's a save room over here. We'll skip that for now. And if you head down here, you see a new enemy called Peeping Eye. And if you notice over here, the wall kind of shakes when you hit it. It's a secret passage. We'll head over there first. And that brings you to a Mind Up, which will restore 20% of your MP. Not bad. I'm going to use this area to farm the Peeping Eyes, and that'll help us get that soul quickly. So we'll be back once that's done. Well, that was easy. It only took about 5 times. Generally, Peeping Eye is a really rare soul. It could take upwards of 10 or 15 minutes to get sometimes. It basically allows you to identify any kind of breakable wall. It'll kind of show a little glowing dot where the wall is. It's pretty useful. We'll use it since I'm not in any kind of a poison mode. So let's continue on. That brings us to our next new enemy, which is this guy, the killer fish. I'll farm him off screen for you, and we'll be right back with that. Alright, we got the killer fish soul. This allows you to summon sort of a familiar killer fish as it is, and it will attack underwater. However, if you summon it out of water, it dies. I'll show you that quickly here. It's kind of amusing. If you're out of water, it kind of just dies. If you're in water, it'll swim around with you. I'll try to show you up here. There we go. Not really that useful. So we'll switch back to axe armor. And this will give us our first blue soul, I believe, which is flying armor. It'll slow down your falling speed and allow you to jump for longer distances because of that. So we'll equip that right away. And you use those with the R button. See, it allows you to kind of slowly drift. So now we can jump over longer gaps, which we haven't really hit yet, but we will soon. So we'll head back to the save point and refill our life there. There we go. Okay, so let's begin heading up now. This is actually the best place in the game probably to farm skull archers. I just happened to do it on the earlier part, so I'd have it right away. And here we meet a new enemy called the Blue Crow. I will farm him off screen for you. We'll be back right after that. Alright, so we got the Blue Crow soul now. This allows you to summon a crow. I'll show you that quickly. It's basically almost like Maria's attack during Rondo of Blood. It kind of loops up and then comes back. Anyway, we'll continue up. Next soul we come to is the Buer soul, which I will farm off screen. We'll be back after that. Alright, we have the Buer soul. It's our second blue soul, and this one's pretty useful. It creates a revolving wall of flame. We'll take a look at that here. Basically, it'll slowly leech away your mana, actually rather quickly right now, but it protects you. However, we're going to need the flying armor for a lot of parts up here, so we'll just stick with that for now. Our next enemy coming up after we get this potion is the White Dragon, who I will farm off screen if he doesn't drop his soul. Oh, he did drop his soul. There we go, White Dragon. Constitution is increased by 4 points. We will go ahead and do that since I know where all the secret passages are. It also increases your defense because defense is based on Constitution. Next enemy up is the Zombie Soldier. This one is more useful to kill range-wise, so I'm going to equip the short sword because it's got a longer range. We'll be back right after I farm that. Alright, we've got the Zombie Soldier Red Soul, and that allows us to throw hand grenades. We'll look at that quickly here. It's kind of a silly little soul. We will go back to Blue Crow for now. And we'll continue exploring here. Notice I got the Axe Armor Soul again. That's actually possible, and each time you gather a similar soul that you already have, it will increase the power of the soul. You'll notice on the soul set menu here, such as Skull Archer I have 3, Axe Armor I have 2, Skeleton I have 4. Basically, that's increasing their power when I use that soul. So near the end of the game, you'll actually want to farm a lot of those souls. Here's our leather plate that I said that the Axe Armor dropped. I already have it worn. I already showed you earlier. Skeleton Knight is our last enemy. I'll show him quickly and then we'll call it a video. Alright, we got the Skeleton Knight Soul, which increases strength by 4. I am going to stick with my Constitution boost though. If we head over here quickly, there's actually a potion we can grab on this ledge. And I think we'll stop right here and we'll call this a video. So thanks for watching and stick around for more.